of your ass. All mixed up, you don't know what to do. Next thing you turn around and find a person it's you. Thought I'd bring my beat a thing, but you know this will pass. So just get off of your ass. Got to trust your instinct and let go of regret. Got to bet on yourself now, start, 'cause that's your best bet. Watch me now with a wicked and wild and I say tick, tick, tick. Got to have it, like buttons in on a section when you've got to call it quits. Tick, 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 just can't quit. The fact that you don't even know makes it fully legit. Now it's funny, but last night's on my mind. There's something I need to get off my chest. And no matter what will come to shine, the dream will always be mine. Keep becoming, that is the gal that'll kill them stunning. Oh, keep becoming, that is the gal that'll kill them stunning. Hey, hey, keep becoming, that is the gal that'll kill them.
What is up, everybody? Happy Hump Day.
Throat dry, my brain is empty. Don't know why, but I saw you doing something which is really truly nothing. And you can bust me out all day. Many moons since first I saw you. Many moons since first we didn't do many moons. Since first I saw you. Many moons since first we didn't do.
Where's all my potential conference championship fans at? The Michigan Cheaters. Iowa, Georgia, Bammer, them Cowboys, Longhorns. I can't believe I'm saying this. Louisville Cardinals. The Florida State Fake Indians. Last but not least, the Washington Dogs and the Oregon Ducks. That's right, the Oregon Ducks, not the Miami Ducks. The Ducks of the West Coast. Hey, Williford, if that happens, I'll be happy. Most of the projections for Clemson, I'm happy with. I haven't heard one I haven't liked yet. At this point, I could care less what bowl it is. I'm more interested in the matchup. You know what I mean?
Here comes the thunder, down under, we're natural wonders, night falls when we leave, all you feel the hunger, sun rises. People of all shapes and sizes. Dig on the decade, realize it's fun. No matter, it's true, boy, still got that swagger. My ears have learned all these crews, but we're better. Interracial, special, hard to beans. I am a beat, a cool awakening. It's getting hectic, the metrics, the body electric. Everybody in one out. Jeans are
Yeah, James, we might not have any players left, but that's the same for every team right now. Welcome to the College Football Call-In Show, everybody. Hosted by your boy, Pigskin Pete, every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. If you want to be a part of the show, very easy. Click the StreamYard link.
I took a trip to find about the ways of big city. Seedy bars and drugs that make you feel shitty. Pretty older women in skirts. Conversation frisky. Speaking cigarettes and plenty bourbon whiskey. Sad classic music on the jukebox and doom. Holler Boulevard, bar, fly, fall, and groom. Tomb of lost souls. Some beyond salvage. Some just having fun. Opening the steam valage. I was one becoming the other. Helping to discover. Had to pull up the razor else. Mother take a brother all the way.
I'll say yes, they score 3.
Prepared. You're getting paranoid. Then guns are shared. You guys think that you're harbinger and fear being harmed. I fear no man and I'm
They might even score. They might shock the world and score 6. What do you think about that, Lucas? Over under 35.5. Take the under.
Now I'm not the type to just act like I know. Putting on an angle, putting on a show. Speaking on nothing makes you a stunt. I tell you right here, yo, I won't front. I cross the T's and skip non-legitimacies. Or else, please, I cannot handle all the negative vibe merchant. Is that all you have in you?
Yeah, 30-3 still under.
And paint it so wet. You should take a tip from the one, Frank Black. Place a pachinko, place a pachisi. Cause all the ain't shit is just cheesy.
Look, we know there's going to be one upset. There's always one upset. Who's the upset going to be? Everyone's saying Louisville. That's the easy one. Hey, just like Salita doesn't talk to women for free, I won't do the tomahawk chop for free. What am I getting out of it? Oklahoma State? Yeah, 3-11. That might be the score of the Michigan and Iowa game, 3-11.
Of your despair, what do I mean? Kick the fucking heroin. Speak from experience, cause I didn't see clearly. Acting like a duck. In 1989, I was cocaine and Jim Beam, but now it's 95 and I'm chick saying, Mr.
5-2.
Misdirected hostility. Misdirected hostility. Misdirected hostility.
What is up, everybody? Make sure you hit that thumbs up because YouTube really cares, even if your boy does not.
Still got all the things that I would have given her. Yeah, 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 yeah. But it's slow going, something showing. Yeah, yeah.
I hope Florida State wins. Because somebody's going to cry. Shit. Kirk Herbstreit's already crying about it. It hadn't even happened yet. This guy's lost all his marbles. You know what? They should call for an investigation into tampering. Kirk Herbstreit's trying to sway the committee. Well, if I was a Florida State fan, I'd be big mad. Kirk Herbstreit's out here stumping for Florida State to get left out even if they win. I know y'all saw this. Kirk Herbstreit, they said, it's supposed to be the fucking 4 best teams, not the win record. Yeah, we didn't hear him crying that shit in 2020 when Ohio State only played 6 games. Funny how that happens, ain't it? Kirk Herbstreit never cared about the 4 best teams till now. I wonder why. You know? All right. Let's do this thing. What are we waiting on? What is up, everybody? How you doing? Happy Wednesday and all that good stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the call-in show, where the show is driven by the callers. Without the callers, there would be no show, and there will be no show if there is no callers. I am your host, PigskinPeete. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate all of you for sticking around here year-round. There's a million other places you could be right now, but you're here. So I appreciate you and all that. Let's see who's in here, and then we'll get right to the phone calls, because nobody is here to look at my ugly face or listen to me ramble on for 2 hours. I do know that. Matt Dummett's here. Bama fan, roll tide roll. SC Country, Ultra MAGA Dog. Lucas Andrew. Mrs. Peete, the beautiful Mrs. Peete, is here. Nature Boy. Woo! Lisa Sims. Esso says yo yo. Wilford Brimley. Clemson is projected to play either Southern Cal or Oregon State in the Holiday Bowl. I'll take either one of those. I just need something interesting to talk about on YouTube. And both of those are interesting to me too. Yeah, a West Coast team, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter who it is. Give me a West Coast team. James Thompson. Millis Vanillis. Little Whitey is him, says Go Knowles. Little Whitey is him. Kirk Herbstreit don't want you to make the playoffs, man. He's already stumping. He's trying to sway the committee. This is tampering. He's a very influential broadcaster. I bet you half of the people in that room are scared of Kirk Herbstreit. He might get somebody fired if they don't do what he wants. I'm just kidding. Jeremy Garrettson. Travis Turnbow. Says Georgia, baby. Hurricane Adam, Iowa wins. You heard it here first. Yeah, well, you got that right. You are the first person I've heard say that. Hey, Hurricane Adam, if you're feeling frisky, put your money on the money line. You'll be rich on Sunday if you're right. VicTube Productions. Rick Sanchez. Kirk is a Georgia fan. Why would you say so? What you're saying is you think Georgia's going to lose, Rick? Because otherwise it wouldn't be a conversation. He's right. Nobody wants Florida State to get destroyed. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Why would Florida State even play the games then? I mean, if you win 13 games and you're conference champion, what's the point of Florida State even playing a season? They could have just sat out. Sea Dog, Shane Gibson. All right. Let's get to the phone calls. What is up your arm with Pete?
What's good, sir? How we doing?
Hey, what's up?
This is Mo AC. So if tune in Friday, I'm sure y'all know what's coming. But before we get to that, we have to get to the All-OSC team, and this is a very short All-OSC team.
How short?
The All-OSC team is every summed up player and fan who had the balls to say that Ohio State was going to beat Michigan last week.
Is it possible for you to talk closer to your phone or whatever you're talking into so we can hear you?
The All-OSC team for today is...
I guess that's a no.
Suck-nut person who had the balls to say that Ohio State was going to beat Michigan.
Is it possible for you to get closer to whatever you're talking into so that we can hear you?
No.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, you can't?
I mean, I can, but it sounds like you're in the back of a cave. It sounds like you're 100 yards away from your phone or microphone.
My phone is literally right in front of me, sir. Jeez.
So go ahead.
Sorry about that. My Wi-Fi had a seizure, sir.
It's not your Wi-Fi. You're not cutting out. You just sound... Yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, sorry for the Wi-Fi seizure, but the All-OC team is every Ohio State person on planet Earth that decided to say that Ohio State was going to beat Michigan. Because, I mean, y'all have fewer wins since 2019 than Zach Smith has beaten up females. So, I mean, you should be pretty used to losing by now. What the
Let's take a look at some bowl projections according to Fox Sports. The funny thing was when I pulled this up, the bowl projections are according to, look at this here. I thought this was funny. Where is it? R.J. Young. Y'all remember him? He used to have a YouTube channel. Then he went to work for Fox. Then he projected Colorado, I think, to win like 8 or 9 games. And, well, the rest is history. So we know that his projections are basically worth nothing. So let's see who he projects to play in these bowls. New Year's 6 bowl games. Cotton Bowl, Missouri and Penn State. The Peach Bowl, Tulane and Florida State. Oh, I got bad news for you, Florida State. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I got good news for you, Florida State fans. If R.J. Young's the one that's picking these projections here, that means you're probably winning on Saturday. Because he has you losing to Louisville, but still going to a New Year's 6 bowl game against Tulane. The Orange Bowl, after they win, Louisville versus Ohio State. Where's my Buckeyes at? Where's my Buckeyes at? How y'all feel about that? Is that a team that you'd like to play? Or do you think you'd, or would you, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it. Fiesta Bowl, Washington versus Alabama. So he's projecting Alabama to lose to Georgia and Washington to lose to Oregon. He's not exactly going out on a limb there, is he? No, he's not. Now we get into the playoff games. Semi-final game number 1, the Rose Bowl, Michigan versus Oregon. I would like to see that. And the Sugar Bowl, Georgia versus Texas. So these projections tell you who he thinks is going to win. He thinks Michigan's going to win, Oregon, Georgia, and Texas, right? All the favorites. Some of the other bowl games. The Myrtle Beach Bowl. Hold on, this ain't fair. Coastal Carolina and Eastern Michigan, that's a home game. For Coastal Carolina. New Orleans Bowl, some of these are just, who care bowls. Independence Bowl, Oregon State versus Iowa State. Nobody wants to see that. Everybody wants to see Oregon State play Clemson. I mean, what are these people going to get through their heads? That ratings matter? There's nobody outside of the state of Oregon or Iowa that's watching this game. All right, there is some. If you're in here right now, you're probably one of them because you're a college football nut like me. You'll watch it. But if you're looking to get the everyday Joe on the street to watch a game, this ain't how you do it. Nobody cares about that. Nobody. They need to put me on that damn selection committee. I straighten that thing out in a heartbeat. And what in God's name is this? The famous Toastery Bowl? I'm not going to even comment on that. I don't even know what a famous toastery is. But apparently they have enough money to sponsor a bowl game. Frisco Bowl, Rice versus Texas State. The Boca Raton Bowl, Utah State and Georgia State. Gasparilla Bowl, South Florida, South Alabama. Camellia Bowl, Appalachian State and Ohio. Not Miami of Ohio, Ohio. The Birmingham Bowl, Syracuse and Louisiana, Armed Forces Bowl, Wyoming and Old Dominion. Idaho Potato Bowl. Look, you got to give credit to the Idaho Potato Bowl for one reason and one reason only. Nobody cares about the Idaho Potato Bowl. Nobody. But since they have the single most annoying commercials for their bowl game annually, people know what it is. Nobody cares where that truck got lost out in the Midwest somewhere with a giant potato on it, with the guy with his golden retriever looking for his truck. Do they not have police out there that can find that stupid ass truck? It's not hard to find. It's an 18-wheeler with a giant potato on it, and they can't find it. It's like looking for aliens. I don't even know what 68 Ventures is, but they have a bowl game too. The Las Vegas Bowl. Southern Cal and Maryland again. Well, I hope that R.J. Young is wrong. Well, he probably will be, because he always is. The Hawaii Bowl. Memphis and San Jose State. That's only about a 23-hour flight for Memphis. Aloha. The Quick Lane Bowl, Minnesota and Marshall. First Responder Bowl, Texas Tech and Georgia Southern. These are terrible bowls. I hope he's wrong. Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Well, if you want a guaranteed rate right now, if you're trying to buy anything, a house, a car, I don't know, you name it, you're guaranteed to get a shitty rate. It should be called the Guaranteed Shitty Rate Bowl. The Military Bowl. Virginia Tech and SMU. The Duke's Mayo Bowl. Miami. Now I would tune in for this one. Who would not tune in for this one? Miami and UCF. They're only about, what, 3 hours apart? The Holiday Bowl, Utah and Clemson. Utah will be like maybe like fourth or fifth on that list. I don't hate it, though. It's not terrible, but there's at least three teams that would be more interesting than Utah and Clemson. But I don't hate it, though. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Oh, it's good, sir. We better now?
Hello? You there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
All right.
I am here, sir. How we doing, sir?
I'm amazing and fantastic. How are you?
I'm also amazing and fantastic. So, as I was saying, the All-Wussy team is every single suck-nut fan who had the balls to say they were going to beat Michigan, even though Ohio State has the same amount of wins since 2019 as a Zach Smith has a beat-up woman. So, I mean, they should be used to losing by now.
I can't even help but laugh at this point. You sound like you're calling from the Holiday Bowl, or even the Hawaii Bowl, or the Alaska Bowl, or is there a Russia Bowl or a China Bowl?
Well,
A moon bowl?
my Wi-Fi must have went to the famous Toastery Bowl, which is not where Ohio State's season is at the moment because it's currently in a casket.
Casket!
They're eliminated from anything important because Michigan beat them. And let me say one quick thing to the one nitwit that's going to say, well, Ohio State's ranked 6, so if Florida State loses, they will be in the playoffs. Sir, Ohio State being ranked 6 is anecdotal, okay? If Texas wins, who thinks that Texas will be ranked above Ohio State come Selection Sunday? I do. If Alabama were to beat Georgia, who thinks Alabama would be ahead of Ohio State come Selection Sunday? I do. Where Ohio State is ranked does not matter. What matters is that you lost to Michigan. You're not going to the Big Ten title game. So therefore, you need a miracle by one of your fathers, either Sherrod Moore or Lou Holtz, which is not going to happen, so massive to get into the playoffs. So enjoy a meaningless bowl game where Marvin Harrison Jr. and Travion Henderson will opt out.
You there?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi must have went to the famous Toastery Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is yeah. So also Ohio State needs a miracle at this point, which you're not gonna get. So enjoy RJ Young's projected bowl matchup. So enjoy RJ Young's projected bowl matchup with Louisville, which will probably send my life through a casket because everybody from Ohio State will opt out. And Louisville's the worst 10-2 team we've ever seen. Louisville's analytics are diarrhea.
I can't take any more of it. Where were we at? What did I leave off with? The Fenway Bowl. Boston College and UTSA. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's the University of Texas at San Antonio, which I was at last month. First visit to San Antonio. Nice town. Nice people. Pinstripe Bowl. Rutgers and Duke. God, I hope this guy's wrong. Look, there's no such thing as bad games, but again, they need to put me on the selection committee. They need to get rid of these affiliations with conferences, and I think they should, and they might soon with the conference realignments because they're just terrible. It's not hard to look at storylines around the country. You know, former players against former players, former coaches against former coaches. It's really not that hard. Like I said, the whole goal is to get people to watch these things. The Pop-Tart Bowl, formerly known as the Cheez-It Bowl. So they went from one shitty junk food to another. And I don't know if you guys saw the reports. This is disturbing. You know how after the Cheez-It Bowl, they would bring out, like, first of all, not only would they bring out a giant bowl of Cheez-Its, and everybody just start eating. There's people eating Cheez-Its off of the ground, which is just disgusting. I don't know what's more disgusting, eating Cheez-Its off the ground or dumping mayo on somebody's head. But the Pop-Tart Bowl is talking about making a life-size, like a human-size Pop-Tart. And the winner of the game, all the players and coaches go and start eating the giant Pop-Tart. This is what college football has come to. The Alamo Bowl, Oklahoma and Arizona. Again, not interesting. The Gator Bowl, North Carolina and Tennessee. I'll watch that. I mean, I'll watch all these, but I'll be excited about that. This, you know what they should call this? Forget the Gator Bowl, the Disappointment Bowl. That's what that is. Two of the teams with the highest expectations coming into 2023. Both teams crapped the bed drastically at the end of the season. The Sun Bowl, Cal and Georgia Tech. Now, this is a future ACC powerhouse matchup here. I like this one. Cal and Georgia Tech. Cal and Georgia Tech. I like this one. The nerds versus the nerds. They should call this the Nerd Bowl. Or the protesters against the nerds. The Liberty Bowl, Kansas State and Kentucky. Music City Bowl. Now, I got to say, if you're playing to win the Music City Bowl, you're probably not very happy with your season because it's the Music City Bowl, but there is a consolation prize. At least you get to go visit Nashville, Wisconsin, and Auburn. Jackpot says the nerds versus the tree huggers. The Music City Bowl, Wisconsin versus Auburn. Jackpot, you got to understand, this is a projection by our boy RJ Young. So it won't be correct. Do the war for $2? You want me to do the war chant? I mean, I'm cheap, but I ain't that cheap. I mean, I appreciate the support and all. $2 ain't gonna do it though. The RealiQuest Bowl, Notre Dame and LSU. Now he's thinking. Now you're putting this is what I'm talking about. This is what the bowl. Forget 8-4 versus 8-4, or 9-3 versus 9-3, or 6-6 versus 6-6. They've got to change their mentality on these bowl games, because come next year when we get a 12-team playoff, nobody's going to give a shit about records anymore. If you're not in the 12-team playoff, everything else is going to be, a lost cause. Nobody's going to care about it. Players opting. Hell, we already have players opting out now in a 4-team playoff. So you're going to see it more in the 12-team playoff. The goal should be interesting storylines outside of football. And this one right here hits the nail right on the head. Brian Kelly versus his old team. This is what you should be looking at here. That, outside of the playoff, Notre Dame versus LSU might be the most watched game in all these bowl projections that he's listed here. Seriously. If I owned a business that has enough money to advertise for a bowl game on TV, I'm looking at the list of these games, and I'm going, who gives a shit about Kansas State and Kentucky? Nobody. Is anybody going to watch Cal and Georgia Tech unless you're a Cal or Georgia Tech fan? No. Rutgers and Duke?
No. Please don't do it.
Boston College and UTSA?
Congratulations. You tried and you failed miserably.
I mean, Notre Dame versus LSU, sign me up. It doesn't matter who wins either. I mean, just like the sideline shots of Brian Kelly's red face on the sideline every time that Notre Dame scores on him is worth every penny of advertising. And if Notre Dame wins, forget about it. Iowa and Ole Miss. I love bowl season. I know. Look, I'm giving these matchups a hard time. I love bowl season so much, and it's almost like reality TV. Like, I hate reality TV because it's just it's like watching a train wreck, and most of these matchups will be a train wreck. And Iowa versus Ole Miss is train wreck to the highest order. What's up? You're on with Pete.
What's going on, Pete?
Hey, how's it going, man? Who are we speaking with?
Yeah. This is well, I go by Whitmouse, but you call me Cody, bro. I'm a viewer of you and Lou. I watch y'all all the time, man. Thought I'd get on here and jump on here and see what y'all got going on tonight. Just
doing a call-in show. So what you thinking about this weekend?
I'm thinking about, oh boy, history and heartbreak that could possibly result in therein. But I'm sure that's been talked about enough over the last couple of days, and will continue to get talked about. I'm a big Georgia fan, by the way, and I was gonna get on here and shoot the bull about what you think about the possibility of your boys being the first one to get a crack at the three-time champs next year.
Oh, you want to go to next year already? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Yeah, no, that's all right. It's okay. I mean, a little forward progress never hurt anybody. Well, it's going to make for an interesting offseason, that's for sure, because people have buried Clemson under the dirt. And you know what? Rightfully so. I mean, they're 8-4 in the ACC. That's not very good. But they have won their last 4 games, and they beat a couple of ranked teams in the process. And they've got some things to fix. And Georgia's right now is fighting for a national championship. So, look.
See, I was wanting to talk about the ACC and the strength of the ACC. And, I usually have a very, bleak idea of how the ACC is structured. But I tell you what, man, Georgia just went and played the Georgia Tech up the road against a little stepbrothers, and they put a little bit of something on us. It surprised me a little bit how they game plan, and they put together a good little game plan and punched us in the mouth, So I started to appreciate a little more how the ACC plays ball, man. And I could see where a Clemson team that gets, lost in the ruffles of trying to recreate a lot of quarterback, talent that's I don't know if it's there or y'all haven't dug into it yet, but if y'all ever fix your quarterback issue, I think a lot of your other problems probably start to dissipate as well.
Well, Clemson's got problems on offense. Everybody knows it. And the question is exactly what are they going to do about that? So Dabo went in the portal today and offered a offensive lineman from a D2 school. Now, he's a good player. I don't know anything about the guy, okay? So, but people that do know about him who are not Clemson fans tell me he's a very good player. Now, forget him, right? That's one player. They need to get portal players in other spots as well. Wide receiver, offensive line, maybe even quarterback at this point. We got a quarterback transferring out, at least one, maybe even 2, but by the time it's all said and done. But this is an issue with all teams right now. So I'm curious to see how this team and this roster is going to round out before that game against Georgia, because we know Georgia's going to be good. And if Clemson rolls into where they play that game, it's in Atlanta, isn't it?
I believe it's in Atlanta, but
yeah.
Was it in Charlotte last time, man?
It was Charlotte. Yeah, I was there. Unfortunately, yeah, I was there.
No, this one is, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Atlanta, like one of those peach on Chick-fil-A kickoff bowl games, you know what I'm saying? Or the classics, which is, it should be good. You know, it should be very good. Regardless of Georgia wins or lose at the end of this year, I mean, we went 12-0, you know, here it's going to be about who wants more. But playing y'all next year, man, that's going to be I feel like that's going to be a really good game.
Well, every time that Georgia and Clemson plays, as much as people like to talk about how shitty Clemson is and Dabo doesn't know what he's doing and they've fallen off the map, everybody and their mother will be talking about Georgia versus Clemson during the offseason, and there's a reason for that. So,
that's right. It's going to be regardless if we're, you know, 3-time champs or if we get busted out this next weekend, it's going to be a big game because, man, a lot of people forget that was a pretty big rivalry game in the 90s and whatnot, you know. I remember
especially during the 70s and 80s. But, I mean, you know, even the game we played last time, I mean, that was a close game. It was a 6-point game?
That
7-point game?
That game was by just the stoutness of our defense. And y'all had a little trouble with your quarterback situation. We really took advantage of that. Y'all took advantage of us. Man, that defense put up some stupid numbers against what our offense turned out to be pretty good that year.
Well, y'all did what we did to South Carolina. You won the game without an offensive touchdown. So it can be done.
You can do that and get a lot of guff about it, but Clemson does. Y'all always known for having that offensive firepower.
No, yeah, but we're gonna have a stout defense again next year. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. But
what's that name y'all got from in-state down here in Georgia? He was recruiting him. He's a linebacker, something Brown.
Oh, Sammy Brown. He's from Texas, though, I think. Oh, he just dropped out. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, there he is. He's back.
He can do whatever. He can do anything on a football field if he can stay up. Anything. Running back, linebacker, he's the man. I was so mad y'all got him. God almighty. Well, we want him real bad. Kirby was licking his lips over that guy.
Yeah. Well, y'all don't have any shortage of talent, so.
Oh, yeah. We ain't got no excuses, bro. No. We're as good as we are, and we should be as good as we are because as good as Kirby's recruited and coached. So anything we lacking, even if Bowers was hurt and McConkey's still hurt, man, we got enough to spread around. It shouldn't be no excuses at all. You know,
no, it'll be fun in the off season, but forget about off season, man. Real quick before we get off, you've got a big game coming up this weekend against Alabama.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be it, man. And it's always come down to who's got the better coaching strategy at the end of the game against Alabama and Georgia recently, and it usually goes to Alabama's credit because Nick Saban is, you know, he's the man. He's the best. He's the resident king in what we consider football, at least for Georgia.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So you know David Pollock. Of course, he's a Bulldog.
Indeed, very big Pollock fan.
Did you hear that David Pollock said that the better coach between these two coaches is Kirby Smart? What do you think about that?
The better coach. The better coach currently, but what makes him the better coach? That's the question. What if his strategy?
All I know is David Pollock said that Kirby Smart is a better coach than Nick Saban. What do you think about that?
Right now, as far as where Kirby's at in his career and where Nick is in his, yeah, I think he's eclipsed him. I mean, obviously with back-to-back championships and a chance at a third, and us going undefeated, just this little run has gave him the shoe to put in between the door and the door getting closed on him for the GOAT. But he still ain't. I mean, Nick's got what, 7 rings, bro? We got ways to go.
I mean, that's look.
Y'all put together 2 championship runs against the best of Alabama that we couldn't beat. You know what I'm saying? It was obvious that we couldn't beat them.
I don't have a crystal ball. I've never been in the future on the flat Earth. You know, but to say that somebody's a better coach than Nick Saban right now that's a ridiculous thing to say.
The only reason I say that
it's a ridiculous thing. I'm not saying you. David Pop. I'm talking about David Pop. Well, I guess you too, if you agree with him.
The game against Texas showed that for this year, he's lost a little of his luster as far as being a czar. And the way he's in absolute control of his whole team, he had a little bit of not contradiction, but like he had a run. He had a run where he got tested and he
had a little run. He was the best in the history of the sport.
I mean,
Little run.
That's true.
I mean,
when
what are we talking about here? This is people act like Nick Saban never won back-to-back titles. He did.
Yeah, he did.
And a lot more on top of that too. And to be fair, when Dabo Swinney beat Nick Saban twice in a row, not twice in a row, he won in 16. He lost in 15, won in 16, lost in 17 in the playoffs, won in 18. There was actually people running around saying, Dabo Swinney's the new king of college football. He's going to surpass Nick Saban. It's like, look, slow your roll down a little bit. It's one thing to win now and win in a short period of time. It's a whole nother thing to do it over the period of 15 years. So
a lot of coaches will never live to even get in the conversation.
Right.
And yes, Kirby for the sake of Georgia fans, even like me, I'm guilty of it too. We want to be the best. We know we ain't got there yet. You know what I'm saying? But we know what it would take to get there. So that's, even if it's folly, it's probably it's folly because we ain't got there. Numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? And the stats don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And we'll get a step closer than anybody else has to getting there if we win Saturday. But that's just one step of many that we'll have to make.
Sure, and it's very possible that Georgia does win it all again. And until then, Nick Saban's still the greatest coach of all time. So I don't even know what the conversation like. This is like, to me, it's a ridiculous argument.
No doubt, of all time. And him being the best coach right now, right this second, as current coaches go in their position. The only reason I'm giving it to Kirby is because the streak. The streak can end tomorrow, and that whole conversation changes. Well, not tomorrow, but Saturday. If that streak ends Saturday, and they're the one that breaks it at 29, then we go back deep into maybe second or third. Y'all having this season is the only thing not keeping y'all right there in the thick of the conversation with the rest of us here. Florida got real lucky this year, real lucky, until recently.
Look, Clemson's not a championship caliber team this year. They have a championship caliber defense, but they were basically a quarterback away from being a top 10 team. They're not even with a good quarterback, they probably weren't a playoff team. But they're a quarterback away from being a top 10 team. People acting like Clemson fell off. They're one or two pieces away right now from being in the conversation. That's just a fact.
Because y'all recruit just as good as we do, if not better in some areas.
Well, no, they don't recruit it. No.
They'll be killing us on the line, man.
But that's not even the issue. I mean, Clemson hasn't. Clemson won two national titles with an average recruiting class of 11. So that's not even the point. But.
As bad as I want to give y'all a guff because y'all's record don't show where y'all at as a program.
Yeah. No, listen. People can hate on me all they want. Clemson is better than an 8-4 ACC team talent wise. That's just a fact. I mean, but anyway, all right. Thank you for the call.
What do you think about Auburn and Georgia Tech? Right quick before I go.
Auburn and Georgia Tech. When did they play? Huh?
That'd be a good.
Oh, you're talking about for a bowl game? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd watch it, I guess.
Oh, you know that'd be a good one. But well, how much later, man? I hope y'all get it in, win a big one. New Year. Be a good close to New Year's Bowl for y'all this year, won't?
No, Holiday Bowl, Sun Bowl, something like that.
Shit. At least y'all ain't Florida, man.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Yeah, the truer words have never been spoken. At least you're not Florida. That's a low bar there. What's up? You're on with Pete.
What's going on, buddy?
How's it going?
Man, how the hell do people like David Pollack have a job with ESPN and I don't?
Well, do you want that job? I'd rather have your job.
Well, maybe, but I mean, I'd come on there with way more sensible takes, and I'm far more entertaining than David Pollack.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there. You're definitely more entertaining and probably smarter too.
Yeah, probably.
He probably has CTE.
Well, that's a possibility, and I don't want to make fun of the mentally challenged. But I'm all with you with that Notre Dame LSU bowl game. I mean, can we get a bowl game sponsored by Family Feud and put those two in it?
Yeah.
The old family versus the new family.
You know, all we hear is, you know, college football is progressive. That's, you know, with the NIL and all this other stuff. But they're not progressive with the bowl games. Like, so that needs to catch up. That the bowl affiliation, the conference affiliations need to go away. And I think they probably will, but you know how the college football is. They're always like 10 years behind like what it should be. But they should have a group. You know what they should have? They should do the same thing they do with the playoff committee, but just have a group of people like idiots like me and you behind the scenes going, yeah, you remember that coach that was talking shit about that coach? Yeah, put them together in that bowl game because people will watch that.
Well,
because nobody's watching, you know, half of these bowl games I just listed off, if they happen that way, which they won't, and probably half of the ones that they do pick, nobody's going to care.
Well, here's my only problem with that, because we're to the point now with the committee, and like I don't know if this is just talking heads saying this, but there are people seriously saying that an undefeated Power 5 team should be left out of the playoffs.
Yeah, Kirk Herbstreit said it today. And not only say it, he got big mad about it and said, the 4 fucking best teams, you know, first time Kirk Herbstreit, now he wants to be, what's his face? Damn it. Yeah, what's the new guy on ESPN? On game day?
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he wants to be Pat McAfee now because Pat McAfee runs around using the F word. Now Kirk Herbstreit is all of a sudden edgy.
Yeah, well,
he didn't say that back in 2020 when Ohio State only played 6 games. He wasn't sitting around going, the 4 fucking best teams should be in there. No, he wasn't doing that then.
Well, no, he was too busy crying on national television like a bitch.
Yeah.
No. Please don't do it.
Now, speaking of Herbstreit, I know you like it when Ohio State gets bad news, and Ohio State got some bad news.
Oh, no. What was it?
A 5-star defensive lineman just decommitted from Ohio State and committed to Miami.
Oh, some good news for Miami. With all the decommits you got one coming in now.
We haven't had any decommits. We've had some guys leaving in the portal.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, and Van Dyke I knew was going to leave. Don Chaney, I like Don Chaney. I do. I wish he would have stayed. But I knew somebody in that running back room was leaving. There's just too many of them.
Yeah. Guess who else you lost? I know you're going to cry into your cereal about this one. Frank Ladson.
Yeah. I was hoping for more out of him.
I wonder where he'll go, but yeah. So I mean, the portal's crazy right now.
Yeah, and the only reason I say the Van Dyke transfer hurts us most is because the only scholarship quarterback we have left is starting the bowl game. So in the short term, that hurts us the most.
But we'll see how it plays out. I think that Miami will be one of those teams that will be very attractive to. There's a lot of big name quarterbacks in the portal right now, from very good quarterbacks from very good teams. They'll be in the mix. I wouldn't be surprised if they landed a big one. I mean,
I wouldn't either. And I was talking to somebody earlier today about that, and Will Rogers seems to be the best fit for what Shannon Dawson likes to do.
Oh, Will Rogers, interesting.
Now, will they get him? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's gotten multiple
Yeah.
offers. But that's just the first guy that comes to mind that really fits what the OC wants to do.
Yeah.
I think they're going to now, obviously, they're going to offer multiple people and see who bites. There's also talk of them going after the Washington State quarterback.
Oh,
His
yeah.
name
Well,
escapes me at the
yeah.
moment.
Well, do you have $1 million? Because apparently he's got 10 $1 million offers or more from 10 different schools.
Well, he ain't getting that out of Miami. They've never paid anybody $1 million.
Right.
I mean, the most they paid for a single player wasn't even a football player. A basketball player got an $800,000 deal.
Ohio State fans want him big time. And I don't blame them.
The Washington State quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they need a quarterback, which is weird to say about Ohio State.
Arkansas quarterback. Momo, stop it. Stop. Momo.
Congratulations. You tried and you failed miserably.
No.
No.
Nobody wants him.
I'll pass on Justin. What is it, Justin Jefferson? Well, and I'm wondering how this would work out anyway, because most transfers, quarterbacks, especially grad transfers, they're not looking to come in and compete. They're looking to come in and start. And if Ja'Cory Brown stays, who's going to be our starting quarterback for the bowl game, whoever comes in gonna have to fight it out with him.
B. Bean says, I heard DJ was coming back to Clemson.
The forecast for today is partly stupid with 100% chance of dumbass. Wrong.
There's less than 0% chance of that happening. No.
Isn't half of Florida's team in the portal already?
Yeah, they are.
And that
I've heard that Trevor Etienne's going to Trevor Etienne. He might be in the matrix. He's going to at least 7 teams. He's going to play for 7 teams next year.
I'm surprised he isn't looking at Clemson. I mean, then again, he may want to, stay out of his brother's shadow and kind of make his own statement.
You know what would be hilarious? I mean, just for us fans, who like to see crazy shit happen, if he transferred to either Miami or Florida State.
Ooh.
Hell, even UCF at this point. Some other Florida team.
Yeah, UCF or Florida State would be his best. But like I said, Miami's running back room is kind of stacked.
But damn, players are jumping off the ship in Florida like they just got hit with a cannonball. And they're going down with the ship. I don't know. I honestly don't know if Sunbelt Billy will make it through next year. He might be one of those guys that gets fired after week 4. Things are going bad there. Like they were already bad, but they're going from bad to worst.
I mean, how hot is that seat going to be if week 1 you get absolutely clobbered by Miami in the swamp?
What week is that?
That's game 1. Whether it's week 1 or week 0,
Oh my God.
I don't know yet. But that's the first game of the year.
They are motivated, dedicated. Said that they're a dumpster fire. They are. They're right. They're on the Mount Rushmore right now of dumpster fires in the Power 5 for sure.
And I've tried telling Florida fans, I was like, as much as I complain about Miami on 6 coaches in 18 years, y'all are working on fixing to be number 6 in a decade.
Will Billy Napier replace Shane Beamer when they run him out of town on a rail? They like to hire former Florida coaches.
Well, I actually, when I would go a different route. I would pick up somebody that's kind of been out of the limelight a little bit. I'd go after Ron Zook.
Ron Zook? The fuck?
Well, it's still a former Florida coach.
Well, that's true. He's probably on the list, the short list of coaches who would actually go there.
Well, they're trying the generational thing, too, because weren't they looking at Steve Spurrier Jr.?
Yeah, I almost pissed myself when I saw that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And they're down bad too. Oh man, anybody not named Alabama or Georgia, I guess at this point, Missouri or Kentucky, you're down bad. LSU is already looking for new coach. The LSU fans are down bad. They're looking for a new coach. They finally realized what the Irish told them was true. I mean, can you name another like? Let's go through the list of SEC coaches. If you're a fan of that team, that you have like a positive outlook right now on them. All right. So if you're a Georgia fan, you have a positive outlook on Kirby Smart for obvious reasons. If you're an Alabama fan, you got the GOAT. So there's that. Who else has a positive outlook on their coach right now? Can you name one? I guess the Missouri coach.
Tennessee. Those Tennessee.
But really though,
with Josh Heupel.
You know what? Tennessee is the South Carolina of last year. Like they're all in on their coach right now, but a year from now they won't be.
Well, and that's the thing. If Nico gets put in next year and he's a flop, they're gonna go south on Heupel quick.
That's what I'm saying. I guess Arkansas's coach because they went out and got fucking Petrino like he's Captain Sabo or something.
Dude, what is it with Bobby Petrino, man? That man's got 9 lives.
How embarrassing. Who's it more embarrassing for? Bobby Petrino. Actually, well, I already know the answer to this. I don't even know why I'm asking it. It's more embarrassing for Arkansas to hire him after the disgrace that he shrouded that program. He set that program back literally 10 years. Literally 10 years.
No, the question is, who's more of a disgrace? Arkansas for rehiring him or Louisville for rehiring him?
Arkansas. Because, when he was the coach at Louisville, that was the best team they had in a long time, and he had a Heisman Trophy winner. But Arkansas is the one that fired him. And not only that, not only fired him, but fired him for infidelity. And he's back there again. Y'all better lock up your volleyball players, Arkansas fans. Because he's older and he's got more Viagra now.
Oh, Lord. Does he still have the Harley?
Shit, I hope not. He might have a nicer one.
He upgraded to a Honda Goldwing. He can't lay those things down.
You probably. Yeah, he can't handle the Harley anymore. He's got the Goldwing going on.
Oh my God. I still remember the memes of him showing up to the press conference in the neck brace.
If I was any opposing fan, whoever they play next year, I'm showing up in a neck brace with some fucking makeup on my face, some red rouge on my face. The game day sign should be hilarious.
Oh, they better be.
Oh. Urban Meyer to Duke. Oh my God.
No. Listen, one thing is going to pull Urban Meyer off of his couch and off of that noon kickoff set, and that's going to be when Marcus Freeman gets fired.
Yeah.
In 25 or 26.
Yeah. We're in meltdown season. It's great.
Now, how good is Always Irish going to be? What do you think his reaction would be to Notre Dame hiring Urban Meyer?
He might. I don't know. What's the name of the bridge in Chicago? He lives in Chicago. There's a famous bridge there. What's it called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
He might jump off of it live on YouTube. He might jump off of it.
Why? You're guaranteed a natty.
No, you're not.
Maybe even 2.
No. Stop it.
I'm just going by his track record. He may be a scumbag, but he's a hell of a football coach.
Tell that to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They'll disagree.
Well, there's a lot of college coaches that don't make it in the NFL.
That's fair.
You were just,
look,
you were,
that's true. Urban Meyer is a hell of a. I don't think Notre Dame would offer him. I don't.
You don't think they'll make the deal with the devil?
Mm-mm. I mean, I know
What else
that.
are they gonna do? Reincarnate the corpse of Lou Holtz?
I don't know. Maybe Steve Spurrier Jr. I don't know.
Oh Jesus! I don't
Saban.
know. I know the one projection that I saw for Miami's bowl game that I liked, and I've actually wanted to see. I've never seen these two teams play. Is Miami and USC?
They've never played before?
I don't think so.
That's interesting.
I would have to look it up. If they did, it was long before I was born.
Yeah, Clemson's played them before. It's been a long time. I think they played. Somebody help me out here. In the late '80s, maybe. I know Clemson's never played Michigan, which is weird, and Texas.
That's weird too.
Yeah. I know they played Oregon. I know they played USC, and I think they played Oregon State too at some point.
After 150 years of college football, are there really any teams in D1 that haven't played each other?
Well, because it's because of the affiliations. The thing we were talking about. You know, I mean.
Well, I'm not just saying bowl games, but even a regular season match.
Well, I mean, up until 20 years ago, I mean, these teams, West Coast teams didn't play East Coast teams a lot unless you were Ohio State and USC, or Notre Dame or USC, something like that. So.
I remember back in the late 90s, Miami went to UCLA. 98, 99, something like that.
Clemson versus Penn State, sign me up for that. Hell, I might try to go to that game.
Whatever the under is, take it.
I don't think he means this year. Although I would like to see that this year.
I'm about to say, if they played in a bowl game, just take whatever the under is. I mean, that might be like watching an Iowa football game.
Look at me being with the Wikipedia. October the 5th, 1968, Southern Cal 28, Miami 3. There you go.
Like I said, that's literally 20 years before I was born.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I hope we see Clemson and Oregon State. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Well, and
I mean, that's like at least 3 weeks of content for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Well, and I'd be lying too, especially if we're gonna play a quarterback that hasn't taken a snap all year, decided to redshirt. If I'm gonna put him up against a defense, USC's would be at the top of the list of what I'd want to put him up against.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What's up, Babe Day?
Can you believe that man checked himself out of the hospital AMA?
Who? BVD?
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't surprise me.
It's like I'm not trying to get a YouTube stream one day saying we found a VVD corpse because he decided to check himself out of the hospital.
I need to talk to him. All right, Slim, I do have to let you go. I got calls stacking up here.
Yeah, buddy, go ahead. Do it.
All right, man. Talk to you later. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's up? You're on with Pete.
What's up, Pete?
Who are we speaking with here?
Mayhem.
Mayhem Matthew.
What's up? So, I think what David Pollock was saying was, I think he's saying that Kirby Smart is better coach in 2023, not just of all time. Don't you think?
So, a guy who has been coaching for 30 years or more, just all of a sudden this year is not a good of a coach as Kirby Smart. today.
No, what I'm saying is like, I mean, you got to think Nick Saban is 71 years old.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart.
And he was 68 when he won the last natty.
But
So
I'm
what-
just saying, you don't. I mean, you don't get. I mean, you're getting older, is what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah, he's getting older. So we're all getting older.
But I mean, I am nervous about the game. I mean, I feel a little bit confident going into it, but I mean, it's just extremely hard to win 30 games in a row. It's never been.
Is
done
it harder to
before.
win 30 games in a row or to win 7 national titles? Which is harder? Because Dabo Swinney's won as many games in a row as Kirby Smart has right now. You know that, right?
I mean, Bear Bryant has never won 30 games in a row, and he has, what, 6 or
Well, they used to
7?
play 9 games in a regular season. But first, what does Bear Bryant have to do with it?
Because Kirby Smart broke his record, 28 games.
I know.
So that's what you're asking. Is it harder to win national titles than it is to be on a 29-game win streak? I'm kind of answering.
Question was, he said that Kirby Smart was a better coach than Nick Saban. That's an insane statement.
This year he is, yeah. He is.
That's not what he didn't say this year.
Well, if he thinks this, I mean, I don't think he really meant of all time, but I mean, you got to think if he does three-peat, he'll have been to 4 national titles and won 3 in a 8-year span. So I mean,
That's great. That's a hell of an accomplishment. I agree with you.
And he's been outside his first year. He's always been to nothing but New Year's Six bowls. So I mean,
Listen to me. Comparing Kirby Smart, as much as he's accomplished, which is really amazing, to Nick Saban first of all, it's disrespectful to Nick Saban, and it's also asinine to say that.
I'm not saying that.
And by the way, if Alabama does beat Georgia, then Nick Saban's going to yet another playoff with a chance to win another national. We're not talking about a situation where they're playing them in the regular season, and Nick Saban's got 3 or 4 losses like Dabo Swinney does this year.
I mean,
do you
really believe that? That Bama will go?
If they win, yeah, they will.
I mean,
most likely.
I think they need some help. They need Texas to lose. I think the winner of Oregon.
It's not really the point. The point is, if Saban does win this game, then they'll be 12-1 SEC champs. Yet another conference championship in the SEC for Nick Saban.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still the GOAT in my eyes, but I mean, I think Kirby Smart is right now the best coach in football right now in 2023. I just do. I believe it.
Yeah, and guess what? In 2019, Dabo Swinney was the best coach in college football.
I mean, you could probably make that argument.
Well, you can. I mean, he was. He destroyed an undefeated Alabama team 44-16 for his second national title. He was crowned as second coming of Jesus, and here we are.
Right.
I don't know. I look. It'd be different if it was somebody saying that other than David Pollock, because David Pollock's a Bulldog. So I mean, clearly he's biased.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I definitely got my Final Four wrong from the off season. I had Clemson going to the playoffs. I'm still high on Clemson. I believe they're gonna be great next year. I mean, Clemson is. Dabo Swinney ain't gonna keep on having these bad years. I mean, 8-4 years. They're not. He's not gonna have that. I mean, he's gonna be in. He's probably gonna be in the 12-team playoff next year. The Clemson man should be fine. But anyways, I just wanted to get on here to talk about that. But
All right.
and I hope my dogs win. I'm a little bit nervous, but
Well, you should win. You should win.
We should win, but Kirby Smart and SEC championships don't always with Nick Saban don't always go well. But anyways, I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. And look, Georgia should win this game. They're favored for a reason, and they should be. I think they've been probably, I don't know, I think it's very close between them and Oregon. The only difference is Oregon's lost a game. But I think those two teams are probably the two best teams right now. What's up? You're on with Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Hey.
How you doing?
Oh, look who it is.
Hi, everyone. It's TK.
It's TK, everybody.
It's TK. I just called in. Well, I had a few little comments, actually.
Okay.
I really, 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 really hope that we do play Notre Dame in a bowl game.
I hope so, too.
I don't feel well. Jesus. Life shouldn't be that stressful. If this is my show 2 weeks in, by week 10, I'm going to be doing the show from a casket. Look down in the bayou.
If you look down in the bayou, that might be one of the most watched, objectively speaking, non-important games of the year.
You mean like this? You mean this year, this bowl game?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, just because of because of that part of it. But and you remember how excited I was for this year, and I had these. I know you're saying that, like, maybe LSU fans, do we have much hope? Like, I can't speak for other LSU fans. My hope isn't as great as it was before. However, it has not necessarily gone down necessarily. I mean, if we beat Notre Dame, we basically did the same thing we did last year. Okay, so there has to be an improvement next year. There just has to be, right? So, I mean, I'm disappointed in this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more, but I mean, I still do think that we're better off with him now than if we were to try to get somebody else. I mean, he is winning a decent. I mean, we're having winning seasons. It's better than the, 2020, 2021, fiasco. So I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And then also another thing. Remember how they were Mayhem Matthew was saying about how many wins Georgia's had in a row, and you said Clemson has had more than that?
Clemson had like 34 or 35 in a row at some point. Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
I don't know the exact number. It's something like that. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty odd. Well, that's impressive. I didn't know that. And my last little comment. I haven't been listening to many shows, so I don't, you may have already given your comment on this, but I'm curious of what you think about the possibility of, I think at least Jaden Daniels should be invited to the Heisman.
He's probably going to win it.
I think he should, but I'm biased.
I'm not biased. He's leading it right now.
Oh, is he?
You never see. Here's the other thing too. When it comes to Heisman voters, at least 60 to 70% of them shouldn't even be voting because they don't watch college football. They're writers. You have guys on there that cover the NFL and the NBA that watch the highlights of games and they listen to what other people say. They have no idea. They give Heisman votes to virtually anybody. I am a better Heisman voter than half the people on there.
Yeah, I believe that.
And not just me. I'm not saying I know a lot because I don't know shit. But half the people in this chat are better Heisman voters than half the people on there. That's just a fact. But I think he is he is probably the most outstanding player in college football. Now it's going to come down to him and Bo Nix probably. The problem for Daniels is that Bo Nix gets to play one extra game before the Heisman this weekend. So if Bo Nix goes out there and puts on a show against Washington and has a great game, that'll be the last thing on these P-brains' minds, these voters that don't watch football, and they'll vote him in. So I don't know. To me, I would give it to Daniels.
I think he's just so good.
I think he did more for his team. If it weren't for him, you guys might be like 8-4.
I totally
7-5.
Maybe, yeah, I agree. I agree totally. I think a lot of those games we won because of him. He reminds me of kind of like what what's his name was to Alabama last year. Having a brain fart. The quarterback for Alabama last year.
Bryce Young?
Yes, Bryce Young. Thank you. He kind of, a lot of times he was having to carry that team on his back. And I think we have some great players. Don't get me wrong. It's just that he is just so good. And
he is.
It's amazing. So, I just wanted to give a little of those tidbits. And say hi and that I miss you and Mrs. Peete and everybody. And I'll be on BBF, Bad Bitch Fuel, this Sunday, I guess. If she's, when did they come back? Do you know?
I don't. I think maybe Thursday or Friday, I think, maybe.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hopefully before Sunday. Because I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing okay. How's your job?
I love my job. Oh, I love my job. It's so much fun. It's so nice to have a job where you don't feel stress at all and you're actually excited to go to work.
Yeah.
I loved nursing. It was just very stressful. So you can have some stressful stuff here, but those are stories for probably my show. There's some crazy ones. But for those who don't know, yes, I work in a medical marijuana dispensary. That's why I have crazy stories. But see, I can't, you know what? HIPAA. It's a medical thing. I can't really talk about that much stuff. I could talk about kind of things we see. I just can't talk about.
Can you name like a new strain of weed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking about
The Brian Kelly's? The Brian Kelly weed?
No. He needs some.
When you smoke Brian Kelly weed, you look confused and don't know what you're doing.
No, when you smoke Brian, no, you know what? Because I do kind of feel
and it
bad
turns
for
your face red.
Right? No, but I do actually kind of feel bad for Notre Dame fans because I know how they feel. They feel how we felt when we got jilted by Nick Saban. Could you imagine if he would have stayed at LSU all these years?
Yeah.
I mean, it just, and so we still have a little bit of that resentment, but I respect him as a coach, and I just wish we could have had him. But like, all I could do is hope that we get better. Hopefully Nussmeier or Nussmeier, however you say his name, starts next season and we'll have a better season. That's all I can hope for,
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be on and talk to you. And
yeah. Well,
and
thank you.
Peete, I love you, Miss Peete.
Well, thank you for checking in with us. We appreciate it.
I do. I really, and I'm coming back. I'm coming back on the air. I was actually going to come back on tonight, but I had so many errands and I ran late and all that. So I'll be back on the air.
All right.
I love you guys so much. The whole community, you, Miss Peete, everybody.
We love you too.
All right, man. I guess I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Thank you for the call.
All right. Thanks.
See you later, TK. You smoke that Brian Kelly weed, this is what it makes you do.
I say right foot creep, walking with that heat. Look around, stay low, make sure they don't see you. Catch some bad, walk down, face them with the heat. The devil under your feet, you're on your way to see him. Stretch me when I can't sleep, bang out when I see you. Play with me, you can't sleep. We got into the sea shoe. You won't have no case rearrange your shape soon as they face you. You won't have no space, we in your section too.
That's a good weed right there. What's up? You're on with Pete.
What's up, Pete? It's Third and Cheat or Third and A. How you doing, sir?
I'm amazing and fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I could have the Bill and Napier weed. I'm just kidding.
Real quick, thank you, Slim Shady Canes, for the super chat. Miami, Toledo, Yale, Washington, and Oklahoma all have longer win streaks than Georgia. Simmer down, puppy dogs.
Ooh, damn.
casket.
Yes, casket. You know who owns the series between Georgia and Nebraska?
I'm guessing
I would say-
Nebraska. Since you're saying it, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. But
I didn't mean to, hold on. I didn't mean to hide you, Tom. I don't know how I did that.
sorry.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, I want to call in because to tell you that I'm gonna give you an update what my supervisor said after when I came off the midday show. I'm not fired, which is good. He just said when I was late, he said just don't do that again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The one midday show or this midday show that you did this morning or afternoon, I was late for work, whatever you call it, and my supervisor said that I can't do that again if I'm late. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Work. All right, what's going on, Nate?
No, wait. And also, before I go, I sent you a PayPal.
Oh, thank you. Well. Well, stop treating Pete. How about that? Thank you for unhiding Tom. I don't know. I didn't mean to do that. I was scrolling through the thing. I must have accidentally hit it. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Sir UGA, I read your Cash App, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I do appreciate all of you. You guys are all amazing and fantastic. Oh, by the way, no call-in show on Friday night because I'll be streaming the Pac-12 championship game. That starts at 8 o'clock. So tune in at 8 p.m. To watch the Pac-12 championship. Oregon and Washington will get to see a rematch of that crazy game we saw earlier in the year where frankly, Dan Lanning crapped down his leg and lost that game. Oregon should have won. Oregon's heavily favored. 9.5 points is the last I saw. And I expect them to win by at least that. But it should be a good game. So tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, no live shows tomorrow. I'll be back Friday morning at 11 a.m. for the midday show on my second channel. If you're not subscribed to my second channel, it's in the description of the video. Click that link, subscribe to it. We talk about everything except for football on there and get people really mad at me too. So if you're only here for football, I guess don't click that link. But if you like entertainment, it's top tier entertainment. But I will be back Friday on the second channel for the midday show, and then Friday night at 8 p.m. I believe is when the Pac-12 championship starts. I'll be back then, right on here. So hit your notification bell for that. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of the callers, amazing and fantastic callers as usual. Everyone have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you guys very soon. Good night.